Hello again, everyone. It's Vince, and this is our update for March 4th, 2026. I know most of you were probably expecting Raul to do the update tonight. Unfortunately, I have a commitment tomorrow afternoon and cannot do the update then. So we've done a bit of a swap. I'm doing it tonight, and Raul will do it tomorrow after market close. So, looking at the markets today, we did get a bit of a bounce, although what we saw really throughout the day. And let me bring in another screen here just to give you a bit of a visual. Here, the Dow, the Nasdaq, S&P, and the Russell, we opened lower here, and then we bounced in the first hour of trading. And then from there, we just kind of went flatline all the way across. So, the first hour was exciting, but beyond that, here we are. The Dow closing higher by 231 points. The S&P up 51, still in a range. I mean, nothing has changed here on these charts. The Nasdaq up 378, and the Russell up about 24 points. If we look at crude oil, it was up a buck 51 when we were on our chat today. It was pretty quiet, pretty flat. But here we are up 2%. Gold up about 27 points. Silver up just 17 cents, came off those highs. Bond yields closing higher. The dollar slightly lower. And the VIX at 21.14 here. Let's have a look at crypto. Bitcoin up nicely here, up 4,900, remaining above that ATR stop. And Ethereum up 165. So all in all, it hasn't been that horrible of a week so far. Now, this morning, we did get some news. The revised number of the ADP employment change, it was up 63,000, which was nice, but not high enough to really have an impact there. Tomorrow, we get initial jobless claims. And then on Friday, hopefully, we'll see the full employment report. Earnings continue here. But again, nothing that is really going to move the markets much. So, having said that, let's look at a few charts. I mean, the main issue is this conflict in Iran, and that unfortunately is continuing. And so we'll just have to continue to pay attention to that and go from there. But I have a few charts here to share with you. I'm going to start at the bottom with LPG. Now, I will give you a bit of a heads up. During our chat, if you were with us, you saw Raul sharing some stats of some testing that he was doing. And he's going to be doing a lot more of that. I'm going to be joining him and doing some of the tests for Victory 3. Now, earlier this afternoon, we just ran a quick test on Victory 3. We got the basics down and started to go through some data. I think it was about 65 different symbols that we tested across some of the bigger names like Apple, Amazon, etc. Going back 5 years with these backtests. Now, keep in mind, these numbers that I'm going to share with you are all, it's taking all symbols, not, I know when we look at these charts, we're kind of selective. We try to stay out of the consolidation areas. We avoid earnings and so on. But the initial test using all signals for the last 5 years on those 65 charts gave us a win rate of 69.4%, I believe it was, which is quite high. I'm really happy with that. But we're going to be digging in using, we're purchasing much more data going back a little further, and especially on the option side of things. So we're going to be doing a couple of things here. We're going to not only be using this data and the testing to, improve the signals. So remember, the 69.4% win rate includes things like holding through earnings and trading through channels, etc., which we want to avoid. So I think we can do a lot to improve these numbers. And then we are going to involve the options data and really look at, what kind of option strategy would be best, the holding periods, expiration dates, etc. So anyway, pretty excited about that. We will share a lot more in the days and weeks ahead as we go through that. But let's go through some of these charts. Here is LPG. And we've got a nice long plus signal here after this nice run. Look at the weekly chart here and the monthly. Here's what I really like about it. We have certainly turned the corner a while ago. We've got higher highs and higher lows on the major pivots on the highest time frame. We've cleared that ATR and we've got nothing but open space up to the highs near 51. Earnings are 78 days away. Nothing to worry about there. So although this is looking good and clean, still not my favorite. You'll see why when we get to the favorites. But the next one is ATI. All of these look really good to me. ATI, look at that move, how clean and orderly that is, meaning the bars, the daily bars, are all more or less the same size from high to low here. We consolidate a little, and that's a big deal considering what we've seen over the last few days. We didn't have much of a pullback, a bit of a dip yesterday, but a big rebound today very quickly. If we look at the weekly and the monthly, not only do we look very strong, we're obviously at all-time highs here, and earnings are 57 days away. And then we have CVE, Synovus Energy. A lot of names, a lot of setups coming up in the energy sector. Here we are, another long plus setup. Earnings are 57 days out, so under $23 here. There's the weekly, and here's the monthly. What I like here is we're very close to this prior high, and if we take that out, we should accelerate higher. So that looks pretty good. And then my two favorites, TNK. And these were on that list of the monthly charts that I shared with you a few days ago, this past weekend. And so here's one now that is setting up on the daily time frame with a nice long plus setup. You can see volume increasing here recently. 64 days to the next earnings announcement. It's a $77 stock. If we look at the weekly, pretty clean. Look at the monthly. And there it is. What I really like about here is this beautiful sort of cup and handle formation on the monthly time frame here. There it is. And we've cleared these highs now, and we should be off and running. We've got lots of open space here to go. So this is one I really like here. Let me just clean this chart up. There we go. And get back to the daily. And there it is. It's in a nice sustained trend in a hot sector, transportation sector. Remember this weekend, I said we had the energy sector, transportation, and the metals. And the other one, that's my favorite, is TK, was also on that monthly list. We did have a pullback here the last couple of days, and now a nice bounce. We've got a long plus setup. This one is under $13 a share, so really inexpensive. 64 days to the next earnings announcement. The weekly chart, here it is, and we get through this prior high here. And here's the monthly chart, which is really exciting. This consolidation over the last couple of years. If you go back, we were sort of building a base for much longer, about 10 years for this to go through. And now we break through last month, and we've got follow through this month. Lots of open air overhead. So really like it. And again, transportation sector, inexpensive, strong trend, earnings far out, all of the good things there. So those are the ones I'm watching, and I'm sure there'll be a lot more. Again, really excited about the testing we're doing. Gonna announce a lot more going forward, but that's about it for now. I hope you have a great evening, and we'll see you on our next update. Take care.